Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a cozy little corner of the internet. I'm Pen and today I'll be reading chapter 12 of The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Was Made For Us by Zen Lemon. Now this is the last chapter before the epilogue, and oh my gosh, this series, this fic is so good. Once again, if you want to give the author some kudos, some love, please go down into the description and click the link because this fic is amazing. Anyway, this is chapter 12, The Life We Could Have Lived. Summary, a denial, a confession, and finally, the end. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's get right into the fic. Chapter 12, The Life We Could Have Lived. Darzai woke up with a nervousness he had never felt before. It was easier getting up for a second time, going through the entire morning routine he did the day before. But just because it was easier, that didn't help calm the shaky, overwhelming feeling he couldn't seem to shake. He spent way too long caring about his appearance that morning, brushing his hair over and over again, and making sure every detail on his person was perfect. The only thought running through his mind being the fiery redhead, the feelings he harbored. It shook him to his core the way he felt, in a way he'd never felt. The idea that Chuya knows, it honestly made him scared to even approach him. Not knowing how to face a man who knows you like him yet seemingly can't accept that. His legs couldn't stop shaking as he gripped his backpack, a million thoughts racing through his mind. He's never felt this nervous, this uneasy. He slowly walked out into the courtyard, his brown eyes scanning the ground and finding Chuya and Mary standing near a tree in the corner. He took a deep breath and put on the calmest face he could muster and approached the two. Mary already had the necklace out, currently talking to the redhead in a hushed tone. They stopped as Darzai entered the conversation, Mary showing him the two glowing pearls. As guests, living a day here activated the second pearl. I woke up and it was already glowing, Mary explained. So, one more wish to go, Darzai said in a sort of solemn voice. He really liked it here. He had emotions, family, friends, everything. He had Chuya. It pained him to know that this amazing feeling, love, would be pulled from his clutches the second they went back. And then what would be left? Actually, about that, Mary held up her necklace again. The third pearl did glow yesterday, around the beginning of 8th period, before it strangely stopped. Mary looked at Chuya questioning. Did you get your wish, or for some reason didn't fully see it, or didn't accept it? Chuya's breath hitched at her words, nervously looking off to the side and coughing into his hand. Chuya, I'm guessing you know what it was? Mary questioned again, like a parent telling their child that they should be more angry. Like a parent telling a child that they would be more angry if they had lied. Mary's words played through Darzai's head, muddling with Odasaku's. Didn't accept it? Something about himself instead. Oh shit. This was his third wish. That's why it stopped glowing. Chuya? Darzai spoke up this time, but couldn't seem to drag his eyes from the ground. He could hear Chuya's breath hitch again, and from the sound of his voice, as the brunette cringed slightly. God, it's painfully obvious. I think there's something I need to tell you, Darzai mumbled, glancing at the redhead, whose eyes widened, knowing where this was going. And then we can all go home. Wouldn't you want that? He laughed nervously, finally meeting Chuya's eyes with a wave of courage surged through him. Darzai, Chuya said in a stern tone, don't. Darzai sighed, a soft chuckle in his words. You're so selfless, aren't you? Willing to give up everything for others? I know, I want to stay here forever too. But if there's one thing I've learnt from just a day of living with actual emotions, is suppressing them hurts. I don't want to hurt you again, Chuya. Darzai's tone turned soft again. Darzai, stop. Chuya sounded a bit more nervous as he tried to cut Darzai off. No, Chuya, I need to say it before I can't say it anymore. That's exactly what I'm afraid of, Darzai. Chuya cut him off again, his exasperation surprising Darzai. I am selfish. I'm scared that all of this will go away. All of this is only going to push you away further. What? Chuya, no, those feelings, they'll be gone once the second I accept them. It's not real. None of this is. You said it yourself. These weren't the same emotions you felt before, and they won't be the ones you feel the second we go back. No, Chuya, listen. What? Say it, Dazai. Tell me you love me. I'm listening. Dazai was practically stunned. Chuya's attitude completely threw him for a loop. He blinked, a scoff escaping his lips as he pulled a small smirk. Okay, we're doing this. He gently took Chuya's hands. How they got so close, he can't remember. He felt the redhead's hands in his. How soft the skin was as eyes traced every freckle and mole. He appreciated how they didn't pull away, a sign of hope. I do love you, Chuya. I love you so much. I adore you. I felt so much for you that I didn't even understand yet. That I don't even understand yet. Exactly you. Chuya tries to reason Dazai with his own words, and I think I've always had them. Chuya's expression softens at the last comment, his blue eyes widening and cheeks flush softly as a sparkle lit behind his eyes. He quickly looked down at their joined hands, his face hidden from Dazai. What do you mean? Chuya questioned, his voice quiet as he squeezed Dazai's hands for a second, a sign of hope. Just a few steps away, a third pearl flickers. Dazai chuckles softly, squeezing back. I've always gotten this feeling around you. Yes, it was never this strong, but there were sparks. So, let's say we went back to your world and you got your ability again. Would you still... Chuya didn't even have to finish his sentence to be understood. His question barely had time to linger before Dazai answered. Yes, you forget I have a brain, Chibi, he chuckled. My adorable Chibi, I've always loved you. I just needed a small push to realize it. Chuya stayed silent as he shook softly, the tips of his ears going red and his hands grasping Dazai's. You're so stupid. The insult had no bite. I know. He buried his face into the mess of orange hair, softly planting his lips on top of the other's head. But so are you. Dazai softly closed his eyes as he took in the center of the redhead's hair, tightly squeezing the other's hands. He just wanted to stay like this forever, ignoring the bright glow pushing against his eyelids, signaling the approaching end. Chuya, he muffled into his hair. Yeah, an equally soft voice replies. Can you kiss me just one time before I lose this feeling? His eyes widen as he's pulled down by his tie, his lips crashing against Chuya's and subsequently cutting him off. It was like heaven, his eyes closing again as his own hands held the redhead's face. However long they stayed like that, neither would be able to answer, nor would they know the expression of their unintentional wing woman had at that moment. All they knew was the image of the other in their hold, while a white light enveloped everything. When Dazai showed up to work the next morning with an abnormally large smile he couldn't seem to shake, Vampo encouraged no one to question it. And when a certain redhead came by to drag him off to who knows where, well, that was their business. Okay. That was the end of chapter 12. I physically had to stop myself from squealing at parts of this, like while I was recording. Anyway, this chapter is amazing. This fic is amazing. Go give the author some love, because this is a real squealy. It makes you squeal with joy. Anyway, there's one more chapter to go, just the epilogue, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!